Well, hey, we're up. Okay, cool. Let me turn this on. I have no idea whether these videos stay up once you stop being live, but we'll certainly see. If I turn this on, oh, bright light. Let me turn them off. There we go. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me okay. If you can't, just give me a shout. So this is to celebrate getting 10k followers. is what this is for. What I'm hoping to sort of show is I'm trying to build a device called a rollJam, and it's a way to defeat rolling codes, which is what car keys use. So if you have a car key, whenever you press a signal to turn it on, like that, this device sends the same code each time. Is that a generic breadboard? Yeah, yeah. This is just a PCB that I've soldered some lights onto, and it's connected to a remote control circuit. So yeah, whenever I press the signal, it sends the same signal each time to turn this on and off, which makes it really easy to attack. Car keys, on the other hand, they use what's called a rolling code, which means the key fob and the receiver have either a pseudo random number generator that's seeded. For anyone who's not technical, that just means that whenever they try and make a random number, they always come up with the same one, or they have a pre-shared list between the two. And once they've seen one, it then becomes invalid for the next one. So if I as an attacker captured that signal, I couldn't then replay it. I couldn't send it again and then get access to the car. So the way to get around that, or the way that someone has developed to get around that, is a device called a rollJam. And what it does is it's able to capture the code. Oi, oi, Northern Ireland house. Yep, Northern Ireland all the way. And what it does is it captures the signal, stops the car from seeing the signal, and then keeps it for you. So the way that it works is a car and any transmitter, or any receiver, it has quite a wide receive bandwidth, so a big chunk of the frequency that it pays attention to. And if there is a stronger signal in that bandwidth, it has to pay attention to it. Radios aren't that clever, generally speaking. Most receivers aren't, so they watch for the largest signal and they pay attention to it. And if that's what they watch, then that's what they watch. They can only pay attention to one thing at a time. So if a big signal comes in and they have to watch it, a jamming signal effectively, if another signal comes in, like from the actual key fob, it doesn't see it. Now, the clever thing with the rollJam is what it does is it has a jamming signal sitting constantly in the bandwidth of the transmitter. And what it does is whenever it captures a signal, so it's listening a bit off from the jamming frequency, which is where the difficulty comes in, which is you want to jam the key fob signal, so you want to stop the car from seeing the signal that tells it to turn on or off, but you don't want to interfere with the actual signal coming from the key fob because you want to capture that. So it's a really delicate balance of stopping the car from seeing it, but keeping the signal clear enough that you can still capture the signal and have a usable signal. What it does, once it's saved that signal, so the actual victim, whenever they press that, if that's being jammed, which I can demonstrate, hold on, bear with me, 43391, I believe this is 920. So if I'm pressing this as a normal person, it goes, it's fine. If it's being interrupted, nothing happens. So a lot of people think, okay, if you're using the rollJam, you block the car from seeing the signal and you transmit that signal, you capture the key fob signal. The car still doesn't unlock. So surely the person would know there's something wrong because their car hasn't unlocked, they've hit the button. What's clever about the rollJam is that whenever the person hits the button again, it does the same thing. It jams the signal, it captures the new one, which has a new code, and then transmits the old one. So it transmits the first signal that it captured. As far as the car is concerned, it's a new signal. It hasn't seen it before because you jammed it from seeing it in the first place. And then it transmits it transmits the old signal and it keeps the new one. And so that way, the little device that you'd usually keep nearby the car is always one signal ahead of what the car is expecting. So that's how it works, basically, in a nutshell. Hopefully, I explained that all right. If there's any questions, put it in the comments. So I've been trying to build one of these for a while, but I've been having issues. I'd said before about that delicate balance of jamming the car from seeing the signal, but at the same time keeping the signal clear enough that you can lift it. And I've had a hard time getting that balance. It just hasn't been working for me. Any jamming signal I tend to put out is it just blows across the frequency and jams everything, including my ability to see it. So that's what I'm going to be working on tonight as part of my 10,000 followers extravaganza. I'm going to try and jam this device while still being able to capture the signal coming from the key fob. Now, I'm not sure what the best way to do this is, so I've got this set up so that you can actually see the signal going. But I've also got my computer over here, which is where I'm going to be doing some stuff, and I don't know what's the best way around it. Do you like BTS? Do you mean Open BTS? Open Base Station? Is that what you mean? If it's Open Base Station, yes, it's very, very cool. For anyone who doesn't know, Open Base Station, you can use that to essentially make a dummy mobile phone tower, and mobile phones will connect to it, and you can see all of the traffic going through it. It's very cool. Legally, I think it's a grey area, but yeah, that's a matter for philosophers, not me. I think it's quite cool. So, invitation to go live together. I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I don't know what this is. I am very new to TikTok. I think I'm above the age limit. I know I look very young, but I think I'm above the age limit for TikTok. Some of the things are scary and confusing to me. Where's my mouse? So, let me know what you want to see. Do you want to see the effect on the breadboard? Do you want to see the computer screen? It's going to be a lot of stuff happening on one and nothing happening on the other, and then it's going to swap. So I don't know what the best way is. So any suggestions, I'm open to them. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out a jamming signal, because I found there is an operating system. Actually, let me see if I can show you this, because I think this is quite cool. There's the flip camera. There we go. Sigint OS. I've used this a couple of times. It's recently been updated and is so fucking cool. So it has, where am I? Yeah, Sigint OS tools. And I didn't realize it had a built-in jammer, which is quite cool. And that's what I'm going to use, because the signal that it gives out seems to be quite narrow. But it can do all sorts. So if I go to IMSI Catcher, I can actually, let's not use the hack RF one. Oh well, yeah, let's use it. So this actually, I'm going a bit off topic here. IMSI Catcher. IMSI is an identifier for mobile phones. So let me turn that on. Start IMSI Catcher. Where's my base station? It should open a GNU radio window unless I'm on drugs. No, not that one. Different window. There it is. So this is what you're seeing here is 958 megahertz. So it's roughly I mean, roughly in the GSM mobile phone band. Not getting anything yet. Sorry, I know I went off topic here, but Sigint OS is just so fucking cool. It's got so many cool tools. Let's go. I think I found a good bit on here. No, do you know what I'll do? Because I'm on my, I'm using my hack RF1. Oh, got one. Ah, ha. So there you go. So I'm actually going to hide that because an IMSI is technically not information that should be shared. So I don't know whose phone this is. There's a bit of it's a error in lookup. You can see here it says Guernsey, United Kingdom. That's not right. That's just, it's reading the MCC number wrong. But you see here you get some information about the LAC number, cell ID, what operator it's on. This is actually, if you're in the UK, I think this is actually O2. And then you get the IMSI as well, which is like an identifier on the phone, which I think is quite cool. Anyway, that's the IMSI catcher. So you can also do FM transmitter. You just give it a WAV file. You can search for GSM base stations nearby, so other cell towers. You can do a GPS transmitter. I don't know how useful that is. So you can transmit a GPS signal that says you're at X latitude or X longitude. Don't really know how useful that is, but you know, there you go. And then this is the jammer. So what I'm going to do is go 433. Can you, or how far can you transmit an FM? As in this FM transmitter, the one on this. Is that the one that you mean? If it's this FM transmitter, the Hack RF1 is only about 5 watts. So I mean, with a decent antenna, you can get a good few miles out of it. But that's using a Hack RF1. If you actually plugged in fact, hold on, yep, messy bench, something like this. This is a 70 watt amplifier. If you plug that into it, you could, yeah, you could probably get America if you were that way inclined on a good day. So yes, so I'm going 433. What frequency did I say that was on? 9.2. So let's go 9.1. And if I start that, let's see. Okay, cool. So where am I from? I'm from Northern Ireland. Let me flip that camera background. Ooh, yeah, ugly face. Right. So I've just sent out the jamming signal. It's going out now. I'm actually going to stop it just. So my room is roughly Faradayed. If I'm running at low power, it's fine. But part of my criteria, actually, I should specify this. I have licenses and permission to do a lot of this shit. So I do jamming. Generally speaking, no matter where you are in the world, is very, very much illegal. I have permission to do this stuff. I've got licenses and all that, but I obviously have to adhere to a very strict criteria, i.e. not leaving the kit running any longer than it should. So if I press that, you can see the lights coming on. That's fine. If I start the jamming signal, jump start it, and you can see here, it's not working. Now, what I want to do is now spin up my SDR, so my software defined radio, and another one, not the Hack RF1, because it can't transmit and receive at the same time. And I want to take a look at the signal. And basically what I'm aiming to see, sorry, 2 seconds. Hopefully that didn't cancel anything out. So what I'm hoping to see is that whenever I press this key fob, I'll still be able to see the signal come in, even with my jamming signal there. That's what I need to see. If I can see that, then I can actually start building the rollJam. As I said, I've been having a lot of issues trying to get it to jam just enough that I can see across or still see the signal. But just noticing the Sigint OS jammer function that it had built in, it seems to be a very narrow jamming, and I can have really fine tune where it's jamming to try and get it in that sweet spot. So we'll see how we go. So I need to do some unplugging of things. Let me think. Problem with a laptop, you've got USB economy. I need to unplug something. What can I unplug? Not a lot. Let's unplug you. Yeah. So I know this is thrilling, watching someone unplug in and re-plug in USBs. If I had a tidier desk, this might be easier. Okay. Come on. There we go. So, okay, it's picked up the RTL SDR. Right, let me show you the screen again. You a white hat, black hat, or grey hat? Just wondering. So, it's good that you're teaching, not something you see on here. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're learning something. If you have any questions about any of my other videos, by all means, fire away. I'll answer them. So, am I a white hat, a black hat, or a grey hat? So, I'm white hat. For anyone who doesn't know, they're the categories of a hacker. So a white hat hacker is you do everything completely legally. You do it with permission, and in most cases you're generally paid to do it. You know, someone pays you to come in and do it, or you're a researcher and you've got permission. Black hat are the bad guys. They're the ones who do all this stuff illegally. That's a black hat hacker. Grey hat is something that most white hat hackers will have done something grey hat at some point in their life. And grey hat is basically the middle ground. It's you're doing something maybe without permission, but you're not doing it maliciously. So if you've ever sat in a coffee shop and you've checked to see if their Wi-Fi has really shit security on it, that technically is grey hat hacking. It's illegal, but you're not really doing it maliciously. In a lot of cases, you generally tell them, you go like, here, you might want to change your password. So that's grey hat. But yes, I'm a white hat hacker. I do all this stuff perfectly legally, so I do. Right, let me show you my screen again. If anyone's a veteran of TikTok live streams and you know of a better way of doing this, I have a weird filter on. I look 12. Can I turn that off? Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's what my real face looks like. It's pretty, isn't it? Let's flip the camera. Okay, right. So, get rid of this. So, as you can see down here, oh, well, actually, you can't really, okay, bit hard to see, apologies. You've got the RTL SDR here and the hack RF. It automatically picks up what kind of SDR that you have plugged in. For anyone who doesn't know, by the way, sorry, I'm used to doing these conversations and these chats with non-technical people, and I always try and keep them as non-technical as possible. So I will occasionally stop and just sort of explain in really basic terms what things are. Apologies, but I can't help it. So an SDR is a software-defined radio. It's ignore. I know the mess. I know. This is one here. This is an RTL SDR. It's a little device that you can use to listen to RF frequencies. Actually, here's one that's not plugged in. So it lets you read the RF, see what's going on in the frequencies around you. And then I've got a hack RF one. This is the same idea, but it's a bit more expensive because it lets me transmit, which is obviously key for what we're trying to do here. So I need to go to 433. This that you can see on the right, this is what you use to view the radio spectrum. So I just need to tune it to the right frequency. Oh, oops, wrong way. 433, what are we on? 433.9. Let's start that, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. And if I press the key fob, hopefully we'll be able to see it. Yeah, there it is. So that little bump that you're seeing right there, that's me holding down the key fob. So now if I start the jammer, see, I think this is still going to be too noisy. See that? That's the jamming signal. Now what I need to be able to do is C. No, that's still too blasting. Let me drop that to that. No. So this is what I'm saying about fine tuning. Oh. Could I capture that? Sorry, I'm not really showing this very well. Apologies. So this is the signal that I'm blasting out to try and defeat it, but it's way too messy. And if I press this, you can just about see the little peaks coming up. I don't think that's enough. I think that's still too noisy. Now, what we can do, can I pause this? Stop. So if we look at the waterfall, apologies for the shaky cam. Again, if anyone knows of a better way of doing this who's done lives before, let me know. So you can see here this big thick red line. You should set up a phone holder so you don't have to constantly hold your phone. Yeah, if I was more prepared, that would be that would be great. I mean, come on. Do I look like a man with a plan, really? I've got a phone holder set up there for whenever it's facing me, but I didn't really think it through that, you know, I'm going to be looking at the fucking screen a lot, so yeah. Do you know how to make a high-powered RFID reader? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to go on another tangent here. Apologies. So this I think is an interesting one. So I'm going off. I'm never going to get this built if I keep going off on tangents. But so RFID. I have this. You might have seen this in a video. This is a door. Believe it or not. At least that's what it's meant to represent. It's a little reader with several lights. Whenever you put the right key fob to it, it goes through. RFID. Now, how RFID works. If you think about it, this doesn't have a battery in it, and if you think of, you know, your key passes that they don't have batteries in them. How they work is that the reader, is constantly sending out a bit of power. In the same way, if you think of the wireless charging that you use on your phone, it's constantly sending out a little bit of power. And what happens whenever this comes near it in here? I used to have a clear one of these. I'll need to get a new one. In here is a coil of wire. It's basically an antenna, and it's sort of looping the whole way around, and it looks exactly the same as what your wireless charging on the back of your phone looks like. And then it has a little chip, and the little chip has the code. And what happens whenever you press it near it is the signal that this is sending out, the power that this is sending out, powers this. It supplies power to this. As soon as this gets power, its only job is to transmit its code. I don't know if you've ever seen the little image of the you know, doesn't understand the guy wearing the helmet and the gun, and it's like, I only know one thing and I'm here to kill. That's basically what these things are like. You know, they get the power on signal and they're just like, here, have my code. Here it is. Everyone take it. Don't care who's listening. Some of the more sophisticated ones actually have a two-way, but that's it. Neither here nor there. So these need powered. Now what Bossman and Andrew, and apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. He's asking how to make a high-powered RFID reader. Basically, what it means is, how can you get this at a distance? Now, you can use, actually picking up the signal isn't that difficult. I have stuff everywhere. Where is it? Yeah, just lost a Coke can. You can use, So, this is an extreme example, but this is a Yagi antenna. It's a directional antenna, so where you point is where you get the signal, and it boosts on gain and receive. So yeah. Sure. And so you can use that to pick up a signal fine, but as I said, these only start broadcasting when they get power. So you need to get power to this first for it to actually start transmitting. And that's the difficult part, because, you know, filling the air with RF, you know, with radio frequency, with enough energy to turn this on, it gets to dangerous levels. So the current recommended safe amount of background RF radio frequency is roughly 1 watt per meter squared. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is in imperial. How many feet that is, I'm not sure. If anyone knows how many feet a meter is, please put it in. But roughly 1 watt of background power per meter squared. Do you have a YouTube? Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. And to get these to power on, you're probably getting close to that to try and fill the room with enough power to actually turn on. So it's hard to do if you're malicious. Like if I'm a hacker and an absolute bastard, yeah, I could just fill a room with RF, and I mean, yeah, give people skin cancer. Who cares? You could blast that out and you could pick it up. You could do that, but here's the kicker, and it actually comes back to our little jamming device. You're supplying power to this, a lot of power to the area to turn this on. How do you differentiate from the power you're supplying and this code that's transmitting? Because they have to be on a very similar frequency. You see, so you have to be able to, again, strip out the noise that you're supplying and pick that out over noise. So it is difficult to do. Again, not impossible. Someone did say there, it's easy to fill a room with RF or EMP. EMP is a completely different beast. EMP supplies RF, but it's a type of device. It's not an energy that's in the background. It's a type of it's hard to explain. I could go off on another tangent on what EMP is, so I'll not. But yeah, it is easy to fill a room with RF. The problem is the health implications. You could actually be killing people. Also, if anyone has a pacemaker, could potentially kill them. And yeah, you could cause issues. What about a walk by, hence the wallet shields? Do you mean like going past and well, this is a bit bulky, but swiping like someone's back pocket to pick up the code? Is that what you mean? While I'm waiting for them to come back, someone had mentioned the YouTube. I do have a YouTube. It's linked on the channel on the main account. I haven't posted in a while. The reason being is that it's a lot of effort to do a YouTube video, like a big long one with lots of detail and all that cool stuff, and no fucker watches them. the YouTube, I have about 4,000 subscribers ish, I think, maybe 4,500. But yeah, the videos just get lost in the YouTube algorithm. They just don't go anywhere. So it was a lot of effort and a lot of time that I didn't really have, especially getting busier with work. And I recently became a dad, believe it or not. I know, I'm shocked too. So I haven't been putting much up there. If people are interested in it, please, let me know. I did a video today when I hit 10,000 followers, and I'd said about the YouTube and stuff like that. So go on to that video, comments, say what you'd want to see. If you want, go over to the YouTube and subscribe there. If I get enough people saying, that it's something they want to see, then yeah, I'll definitely do it. I did see someone go. He had replied saying that, yeah, the walk past. I can't remember what the question is. Can I scroll down? This must be what Twitch streamers feel. As someone said, do I do Twitch? I do, but I do it for D&D. Completely different beast. What about a walk by with wallets and shields? So yeah, I mean that's a common attack. There was a guy who was caught in London, and he was wearing a trench coat, big heavy trench coat, and he was standing in the middle of Piccadilly Circus going like this. All over the place. People just thought he was a nutter or he was drunk. What was going on was under his duffel coat or under his big trench coat, he had hundreds of readers, so hundreds of wee devices like this using all different frequencies, all that. And if anyone's been to London, people are crammed in a lot of these places, and he was just picking up card details and payments left, right, and centre. He's just grabbing loads of them. So yeah, doing that walk past is really easy to do. The only reason that they actually caught him was that it was the height of summer, and he kept coming back, and they went like, "What's this guy doing? It's the height of summer. It is really, really hot." And they went and had a chat with him and found him covered in these readers. Let me go. Do you have a good hack RF alternative cheaper? It depends what you're wanting to do. There are some cheaper ones out there, but they're very specific and don't have the same frequency range. So who is that? That's Cavalarino. I can't pronounce your name. I apologize. Cavalarino, maybe? 007. Whoever asked that question, it depends what you're doing. There are a couple of other things out there. Whoa, getting tea. Oh, always want tea. 5T. I don't know what 5T is. I don't know what that is. I told you I'm very new to TikTok, but it popped up on my screen, so thank you. What is the code written into? Is that the code for this? The code for the RFIDs? Is that what you mean? Chris Lilly says he'd watch. Good. Congratulations. Thank you. I did Twitch. Answered that. Why is my phone connected to 192.0.0.4 when it's not connected to anything? I don't know. Could be. Are you connected to 4G? Like, are you connected to your mobile data? Because it could just be it assigns itself its own internal one. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, and I think I've caught up on questions. Have I? Oh, just that one from Lucas AKM. What's the code written into? Yeah, is it this that you're talking about? Let me know. Yeah, only on my mobile provider. I might be able to check that on my. I might cancel something. I don't know. I don't know. But tell you what, I will find out. Let's see. Pen. It's a bit of a Raspberry Pi. Ignore that. But I already have a Riz for some reason. I have two. Is the other one weird? Is it like 148 or whatever else? Yeah. What's the other one called? What does the other one look like? Because it could be because you'll probably have a public IP address, and then a private one, which is the 192. As if anyone's in networking, you'll know that it's an inside. It's an IPv6. Okay, so that's probably a public IP address. So that's the one that you use. Yeah, IPv6 is fucking madness. No one understands it, even network engineers. So yeah, that'll be your public facing one. So that'll be the one that the internet is seeing. It's odd that you've got a private address as well. I didn't think your phone did. It's done through a thing called NAT, network address translation, and it was a way of saving IP addresses. I won't fucking bore you with the details there. But it's yeah, it basically have an inside address. I just didn't think that a phone did it on a mobile data. So yeah, hold on, let me make a note of that. I'll find out. So follow me on Twitch, and I'll do a video answering that when I get a chance. So it's mobile data internal IP, and it's a 192 address. Yeah, I'll check that. It's interesting. It's new, never seen it like that before. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, I'll check. Your Wi-Fi is not turned on, right? Okay. I think now I've caught up on questions. Have you? Oh wait, no. Have you got a Ducky script to HID script converter? No. I think there's one on GitHub. Is it possible I'm being hacked? No, unlikely. Yeah, no. Someone's not hacking you. There would be no benefit to them adding a private IP address to you. It's very unlikely that that's what's causing that. How do you get into hacking? That's a big question. I'm not really getting into any of this. So I had planned to start fiddling about with RollJam. Well, if you're happy to listen to me answering questions, that's fine. I'm happy to do it. For me, it was more luck than judgment, but it depends really what you're doing at the minute. So if you work in IT, go and speak to your your IT team in the company will have security of some shape or form. They'll have a security team. Go speak to them. Just say, look, I'm interested in cybersecurity. I'd like to know more. I guarantee you they will froth at the mouth trying to give you some stuff to do. That they will be more than happy to teach you and bring you in. If you don't work in IT at the minute, likes of CompTIA Security Plus is a good exam. Excuse me. Did you hack the card reader? I'll come back to that one in a second. So yeah, the CompTIA Security Plus is a good starting point. Now you don't necessarily have to do the exam, but just the material on it is really really good. There's plenty of people on YouTube do tons of stuff. I'll do a video on that actually and show some of the good channels for teaching stuff like that. And to be honest, just tinker about. Like a lot of this radio stuff, I used to work with radios for about 7 years before I got into IT. And that's where my radio knowledge came from. And whenever I got into IT and started getting into cybersecurity, that's when I decided to break shit and radios in cool ways. So that's where that came from. Did you hack the card reader? This one? Well, technically no. This is just a card reader that's to read cards. A lot of the stuff that you've seen me build is for demonstrations. I do a lot of talks at cybersecurity conferences, and I build kit to go down and demonstrate these kinds of attacks. So this, strictly speaking, this isn't hacking anything. This though is a card cloner. So you put the card in, hit the button, it copies it, and you put a new one there. You can get more condensed ones if you were actually malicious, but obviously for me and learning purposes, this is more than sufficient. Or sorry, for demonstration purposes. And this can clone fucking everything. If anyone, I don't know if you have them in America, if there's any Americans on, but the contactless payment on your card where you just tap it. I tested this with my contactless card and it cloned it fine. They're encrypted. They're meant to be protected. This did not even blink twice and it copied it. It's fucking terrifying how easy it is. Actually, there is a cool thing you can do with hacking the physical device of the card readers, but I'll get to that in a second. Ubuntu or Kali, I use Parrot OS. I just like the terminal. That's the only reason. Between the two, Kali has better community support, I think, but the Parrot OS, it looks pretty, so that's what I use. It has more or less the same tools as Kali. Kali is so far the best in subtools. Don't know what you mean by subtools. But yeah, I mean Kali is really really good. As I said, I just use Parrot. Personal preference. I think it looks nicer. That's it. What is your biggest hack? That was probably when I was working with radios. That would have happened, and I can't talk about it. Sorry. NFC cloner, yeah, that can clone NFC. Oh, that's great. What is that called again? Sorry, David, not sure what you're referring to. So could you just tap that to someone's wallet and it would clone the cards? Yes, actually, but there is a cool thing that you can do if you want to protect your cards. Oops. So I've got a bunch of wireless cards here, or NFC cards. So let's say that this is a credit card and this is a credit card. In your wallet, put them close together. The problem that the reader will have is whenever it gets close to swipe it, it'll power both of them and both of them will start sending their signals. And it'll be very hard for the reader to work out which signal is what, and it'll get scrambled. So it's an easy way to defend yourself. The RFID shields, the little covers that are meant to go over it, I've found a few good ones, but most of the ones that you buy seem to be pretty crap, and you can still get the thing. So what I do is I just make sure all my contactless cards are just all beside each other, so that if someone swipes my back pocket, it's unlikely they'll get a good signal. Z shell or bash. I usually use bash. I haven't used Z shell much. Usually bash, yeah. Been using Part for years. Love it. Yeah, it's great. Okay, what's your real biggest hack? Is that referring to the one that I can't talk about? Uh, yeah. So, what is the easiest or best way to get into IT? Sorry, talking a lot. I need to drink water. So, best way to get into IT. So that's a tough one. I got lucky. Whenever I got into IT, I got very lucky. I had no qualifications. I just had the experience from working with radios. So I got quite lucky on that. To be honest, yeah, getting into like a first line support job, you don't need much. I know I keep referring to CompTIA courses, but the A plus is a good one for first line support. But if you get into first line support, don't stay there. That first line support, it's not a fun job. You're going and fixing printers or resetting passwords and stuff like that. It's not that fun. But if you use it as a stepping stone to get into second line support, third line support, and really, spare time, lunch breaks, whatever, learn new shit, try and make yourself useful, and make sure you get out of first line support, because support can end up being a dead end job if you stay there. So it's an easy one to get into, but it's easy for a reason, because people hate it and leave. But if you stick with it, you'll get a lot of experience with dealing with dealing with users, which is a great thing to know. There is nothing worse than an IT person who can't deal with users well. Gone are the days of, the IT people are in a basement in the corner and no one goes near them, but they put up with their really shit social skills because, they know the dark voodoo. A lot of IT now is dealing with people, and trying to not make them feel stupid is a good thing, especially for security. It sounds stupid, but if the users trust your IT team, they're more likely to tell you when they fuck up. So if they click on a dodgy link, if they do something that they're not meant to, they plug a USB stick in that they found in the car park. If they know that you're not going to be all like, you did that, dickhead, what do you do that for? They're more likely to come to you and tell you, I think I did something stupid, and then you can deal with it, because the sooner you know about it, the better. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Hopefully that answered that. Some having ATMs with cell tapping. Sure. Cover it with aluminium foil. Doesn't necessarily work. It can. It can work. Covering it with foil, people think it makes a Faraday cage, which is like a cage that's insulating the inside device from RF and stopping any RF from emitting. But you need to have an insulating layer in between it. So if you just have the raw metal touching the card, it just turns into one big antenna and can actually make it worse. So you need to make sure that you actually put something over it, like a freezer bag, like a food bag, like a plastic bag or something around it, and then wrap it in foil, and then yeah, that'll work. Yo, I'm assuming that's someone from Northern Ireland. Teach me. Hopefully you're learning something. You're dope. I am not. I'm an idiot. How do the cards even send out a signal without electricity? So I talked about that earlier in the stream. Talking like a Twitch streamer. The card reader itself, this device that you put the card up to, it sends out power basically. So these don't transmit anything until they get power from that device, and then they start broadcasting. Tinfoil works well. Some ATMs are running on GSM and very easy to fix cell to. Oh, that's I didn't know they were running GSM. That's cool. So GSM is General something Mobile. I can't remember. It's a older technology of phones, but it's still in use, and it's not secure. It can be got. Actually, the IMSI catcher that I showed right at the start that was capturing phone data, that was GSM. Because newer phone data, it actually uses a thing called a TIMSI, and it's all very complex. But yeah, that's GSM, and it's not that secure. So he's saying here, I'm assuming he, sorry, apologies. I see man in the name, I assume he. And he says it's very easy to do GSM tapping with a fake cell tower. Again, I talked about that. That's where you use there's a program called OpenBTS. It's an operating system, and if you have a SDR, a good one that's able to transmit and send at the same time. So even like my Hack RF1 can't do it. You know, these things are, I think the cheaper end of them is about £300. You can set them up as a fake phone tower, and then you get all of the traffic coming through. And if that's ATM data, then yeah, you could actually manipulate that if you're that way inclined. Someone's putting in money, you could change a couple of decimal points and have it going into your account. Not that I condone anyone to do that. What's the best way to get someone's IP address, like from text? Ask them for it. Hey, I'll send this dude some likes, helps with his visibility and on everyone's For You page. Yep, please do. I agree with that. Hey, man, hey. Any insider tips for how I can get massive exposure on Instagram? I have like 4 followers on Instagram, so may not be the best person to help with that. Gotta go, but definitely tune him back in. Oh, that's David. He's probably well away now. I'm well behind him. Thanks. So cheers. So all the enemy has to do is lie. I mean, yeah. So how do we unlock cars? Yeah, sorry, I've went off on tangents here. Apologies. I don't know if we'll get to the car thing. Sorry. I'll do another one. So I will. The car unlocking. What I was wanting to get done today was to try and block the signal, block the receiver from seeing the signal, but be able to capture the transmitter signal. That's what I wanted to get done today. So far, all I've done is ruled out that Sigint OS's jammer will work, because it won't. Yeah. I blame Devin Dolan for teaching me about the foil. Yep, it's fine. Wait, so theoretically speaking, tinfoil hats would do the opposite of protecting you. Yes, they would. So in fact, it's going to be a while till I probably get to the end of the messages, but if anyone in here thinks 5G is going to kill you and you need a tinfoil hat, let me know and we'll have a fun conversation about that. Sent TikToks? Someone sent TikToks? I don't know what those are. I don't know what any of this is. I feel so old, but thank you, whatever that is. Yeah, so if you have the tinfoil hat on, signals coming that way, it may reflect off. The problem is signals pass through your body really, really easily. And if they can pass through your body, they can pass through the tinfoil. So necessarily having a tinfoil hat may not, strictly speaking, make it worse, but it definitely won't help. Unicode? What about Unicode? Which country is most likely to win WW3 with cyber attacks? That would be Russia or China. Any USB SDR recommendations? Yeah, RTL SDRs, these are amazing. They're about 20 quid. I'm not sponsored by them, but if anyone knows them, I'll take a sponsorship. Fucking no problem. I've got a few of these. There's a kit that you can get with these. I think it's around $30. I think it's an American company, so it's in dollars. And it comes with this. It comes with I've got it all set up, but it comes with antennas, extender cables, like coax cables, so you can put the antenna somewhere else, all that good stuff. And for 30 quid, really great for starting out. So they're good. How do you make money with hacking? Get a job with it, or bug bounty programs? Oh, yeah, so someone has just replied, they're bug bounty programs. A bug bounty is basically a company puts out, basically like a bounty, if you think of the Wild West, or like wanted, we want you to find vulnerabilities. And basically they give you the criteria of this is what we want you to check, and what type of system, how you want to check it, things like that. And then you can go and hack it, and it's a good way to practice as well, because you can go and do it, and it doesn't matter if you don't get anywhere. So it's a good way to practice just tinkering about with things, because it is something that you would then technically have permission to do. So yeah, you can do bug bounty programs, and you get paid for it if you find one, and it depends on the severity of the vulnerability as to how much money you get. Yes, bro. Can you hack cash machines? Yes, Oh, there's C Smithy sent TikTok. Thank you, C Smithy. Still don't know what they are, but glad to have them. Often sleeping, no. Who's often? Who's often sleeping? Oh, can you hack cash machines? Oh, he said no. Yeah, no, you can't. You can't hack a cash machine. Oh, got a rose. Don't know what that is. Thanks. Uh, but yeah, you can hack cash machines. Yeah, they're a computer at the end of the day. That's all they are. You can certainly do it. Um, talk about 5G, please. Okay, I will. Uh, so you're a doctor? No, I'm not a doctor. Need a Faraday hat. Yeah, you need a Faraday box. Um, have you got a link to the SDR? If you just Google rtl-sdr.com, so Romeo Tango Lima dash Sierra Delta Romeo.com, and that'll take you to their website. You can get them. What do SDR work for? You can use them to capture RF and view it. So you can. These ones can only receive; they can't transmit. So someone said talk about 5G. Let me just catch up on on messages. Hey, from Russia. Yeah, Google SDR. Did I miss one? Someone saying I'm awesome. Thank you very much. If World War III kicked off, what could Russia, China do? Would it make their military might redundant? To be honest, it's more a case of morals. China and Russia, I do not believe, would be above hacking. If any of you have seen in America the water treatment plant that got hacked and they increased the fluoride levels to the point where it was poisonous, China, Russia, they'd do that, and you wouldn't know they were there until people started dying. America, I think, would have slightly better morals. Not many, they'd still do it, but if it came out, people would get pissed. Whereas in China and Russia, they'd just be told, "You're not pissed about this," and they would go, "Okay, we're not," because they don't want to get shot. That would be the main thing. Hey from Russia. Hey Russia. So you're winning World War Three. How to get better Wi-Fi without paying? Okay, I'm coming back to that one. My God, so many messages. It, wow, I did not think I would get so much people talking. Um, so someone said talk about 5G, and someone said, "Are you a doctor?" I'm assuming that's maybe in reference to the 5G because they're saying, "Oh, are you a doctor? Do you know what effects 5G will have?" No, I don't. But what I do have is a crap ton of research papers. Let me just. Uh, oh, I need. Okay, here's like that's five. There is a stack there, but I've got shit all over my desk. So 5G can't penetrate your body. The wavelength is too small. Whenever you think of frequencies like 4G and other phone frequencies, the wavelengths, the actual size of the frequency is quite big. When you go up higher in frequency, the wavelengths get shorter. Because of that, it can't actually penetrate your skin. It can't go through you. And one of the topics of research that's going on, I think in Queen's and in Oxford, is basically how did they stop you cutting out your own phone signal? So when you think about it, pretend this is a phone. It rings, you put it up to your ear. If your cell tower is that way, you've just blocked the signal. It can't go through your head. It has to either reflect off or wrap around. So this concept of that going in and giving you cancer inside your body is bollocks because it can't get in there. It can't. So another thing is it's also non-ionizing radiation. So if you think, Bruce Banner, the Hulk radiation style, the stuff that can give you cancer, like X-rays, it's ionizing. It actually changes the cells. RF, in what we think used for communication, is non-ionizing. Now, that doesn't mean it's 100% safe. And a good example I always give is your Wi-Fi. So your Wi-Fi router is 2.4 gigahertz at about 5 watts. And we know that's safe. It's been around for long enough that we have a fair understanding. There's been enough research around it that it doesn't cause you harm. However, it's the same frequency that your microwave uses. So your microwave that you use to heat up your food, it uses 2.4 gigahertz as well. It's the same frequency. It's just much higher power. So your Wi-Fi router is about 5 watts. The microwave is 80 to a kilowatt. Or sorry, 800 to a kilowatt. And it's used to cook your food. So it's the power of these frequencies that's dangerous, not necessarily the frequencies themselves. And frequency power drops off really quickly, which is why some mobile phone towers or cell towers are about a kilowatt, because it drops off so quickly. It drops off in accordance with the inverse square law. Sounds really complicated, but all that means is that as the distance doubles, the power quarters. So if you think of it like a candle, you have a candle that's lighting a bubble that's 1 meter squared or 1 foot squared if you're American. That doesn't really matter. And it's illuminating this bubble at 100% efficiency. You have 100% of the light, it's there. If you then double that to 2 meters or 2 feet, at that 2 foot point, the level of light would be 25%, because it's the same amount of light, but it has a much greater area to fill. RF or radio frequency falls off at the same rate, and that's why these towers need to be quite high power. And that means if you're standing, a meter away from them, you're fine. And any high powered cell tower, it'll have a fence around it because of that, because they don't want you getting too close to them. And even then, the fence is probably way overestimated. Generally speaking, you probably have to be quite close and maybe touching the antenna for it to actually start causing you harm. I did do a YouTube video. It got taken down, where I demonstrated this because I opened my microwave and I stood a couple of meters back from it with an RF measurer to show how weak the actual RF coming off that microwave was, even though, if you put something inside of it, it cooks it, but standing a couple of meters away, you don't even notice it. So there's a bit of a blurb about 5G. I'll maybe do a live stream just around 5G at some point. Right, let's try and catch up. Oh yes, so how to get better Wi-Fi without paying. A can antenna. If you've ever heard of that, if you get a Pringles can, it's got a metal coating, put that behind, cut it out so that it's an open cylinder and put that behind the antenna. So if you think that's your Wi-Fi antenna, you put it like that. It'll make it directional. So very similar to this. It sort of similar idea. This is a directional antenna, so it means more power goes that way. It does mean that you lose power behind it though. Unfortunately, there's no quick fix of getting better, more Wi-Fi out of it, and it can't go faster than whatever it is you're paying for. So if you've got a 100 megabit line, you can put whatever you want in your Wi-Fi. It's not going to make it faster than that. Let's catch up. Domestic or military attack. Paul, sorry, I'm way behind. I'm not sure what that's referencing to. Oh, there's the rose that someone sent. Thank you very much. Where in the UK are you? I'm not FBI. That makes me think that you might be FBI, but no, I'm in Northern Ireland, so I am. So, yeah. What about Bitcoin hacking for bots? I don't know much about that. Could you hack a safe with a number code? Probably. VPMS ads work. Don't know what that's in reference to. Is RF traffic that electronic devices send out? Yeah. So sorry, I've been saying RF a lot, and I haven't explained myself. Whenever I say RF, it's wireless. So any wireless communication is RF. It's using RF. So that's Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, walkie-talkie, even the wireless charging your phone is RF. Basically, if it's sending information or power wirelessly, it's RF, and it means it's on the RF spectrum, so you can see it on those waterfalls with the SDRs. Hey bro, oh, it's my sister's in the chat. Oh my god, you're amazing. Thank you. Bit disappointed that your research isn't on dot matrix paper. I'm not sure you're happy. I know. It's. I have no excuses. And I don't even have a CRT monitor in here, to bask in its lovely radiated glow. My font isn't even in green. Isn't even in green. So 5G is not good. No, 5G is fine. 5G is absolutely fine. In fact, sir, there was I meant to mention this. There was an American councillor or some person in Parliament or government, whatever way you want to pronounce it. Um, and they had a whole page about why 5G was terrible and why it was horrendous, and they linked a research paper. And they said, look, this research was done by the American military, and we know they're the best. And they said that this is really dangerous. They linked an article. I read the article. The article was talking about the beneficial impact of RF at that frequency at low power, and in a later point had said at higher powers there's been no measured effect. So the fucking research paper that they linked as proof that 5G was dangerous was saying that it was fine. I wish I could find it. I've been trying to find it again because I think it's fucking hilarious, but I haven't been able to find the link. I don't know whether they've taken it down. EMF, electromagnetic frequency, same thing-ish. Oscillation cancellation is a great method. It's also fun to say. Wait, but doesn't that just mean that you're being hammered by waves all day? Everyone's being hammered by waves all day. There's background radiation all over. In fact, we can show that. Let me. The whole thing is as long as it doesn't reach a certain level. Where's mine? So this is the RF spectrum. If I turn this on, so you see this line? That is what we call the noise floor, and that's basically the background radiation that's just floating about, and that's at this frequency. If you change the frequency, it'll vary. Oh, well, not much. Oh, yeah, so you can see wee peaks coming up here and there. So yeah, there's RF everywhere, and it's not all man-made. I should point that out. So even the sun creates RF in the air, and in fact, I'm an amateur radio operator, and HF, high frequency, which is what we use for usually voice communication, relies heavily on how the sun affects the atmosphere, ionizing. There's a layer called the ionosphere, which is basically a layer of particles that the sun sort of excites, and it changes how the RF acts, and we use that to bounce signals. And on a good day, you can actually bounce a signal around the Earth, and it can come back and you can hear it, and so you can hear yourself with a bit of a delay. Apologies for any flat earthers, but yeah, it goes around the world. It doesn't go off the dome and back. Sorry. Have you ever solved a bug bounty? No, I have not. What's your background with radio? I used to work with radio. It says it's as far as I'm going with that. What are your thoughts with regard to EMF, electromagnetic frequency? It's another name for RF, is it not? Really? Why is radio, apart from what we know about you, useful? Sorry, Paul, I don't know what you mean by that. Thank you for the 5G explanation, very informative. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, I'm married. Apologies. I would love you too, but yeah. Use a loo brush container, it works really well. Oh, I'm assuming that's for the Wi-Fi. Yeah, sure. Drink a soda, bud. I don't have a soda, but I'll... Water. It's very warm. Are you mining helium? Is that a cryptocurrency, or do you mean the gas? Neither. Radio frequency. American military is crap there. Nuclear weapon password was 000. Ah, the Cayman, it was not 000. It was 000000000. Almost as ridiculous. It was 4 zeros. The British one was not much better. What are we? One of my friends is in there about you. Oh, electromagnetic force. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. So I read that as electromagnetic frequency, electromagnetic force. Oh, don't know as much about it. You think learning how to code is a good way to get a job from high school with no college? It can help. Yeah, it certainly can help. But I've really only recently learned how to code, and I've been in IT for 10 years now, and cybersecurity the past 4 or 5. And yeah, I mean, it's only the past couple of years that I properly learned to code. I only sort of dabbled here and there outside of that. So it definitely helps, but you definitely don't need it. Um, get a job for my school. To be honest, start looking at certifications. I'm sorry I keep going back to the CompTIA ones, but they're a good starting point and they're cheap. As far as certifications go, uh, a lot of the certifications are like a few grand, whereas the CompTIA ones are about £300, give or take. And there's plenty of free resources on YouTube. Again, I'll do a video showing some of those good videos, those ones that are good to watch. Nice, your videos, like so much. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's talk about EMP. So electromagnetic pulse. Yeah. Cryptocurrency. It's radio mining for IoT devices. Don't know what you mean by that. You can hack IMO groups, in my opinion, groups. Yeah, I'm sure you can. What is the impact RF can have in the future? I have no idea. I am afraid to say I'm not psychic. I do not know. Yeah, I mean, all the studies that have been done so far on RF have said that it's safe. A lot of these things are safe. But long term effects, honestly, we like mobile phones. If you think about it, haven't been around that long in the grand scheme of things. They've only been around for what? I mean, really, our generation, maybe just before last generation, they've came around. So as far as really long term effects, we won't know. We won't know until things start coming out. But the current research says that it's fine. And a common misconception about um, uh, 5G is that there is no research, and that's bollocks. There is tons. You're just not looking in the right place. If you go to Google Scholar and look up 5G research papers, you'll find plenty. What did someone say? Talk about EMP. Okay, I'll talk about EMP in a second. What's the best way to get into cybersecurity? Zip Red, please answer my question. What was it? Did you ask a question? You just said you can hack IMO groups. Are you asking if I can hack IMO groups? Can have a FM radio station plays Irish music in the future. I quite like Irish music. Although technically I'm British. But yeah, I like a bit of Irish music. Okay, right. I'm going to talk about EMPs, and then I'm going to call the live stream there because my throat is fucking dry. Yeah, if you want me to do another one, I got far more people watching this than what I thought I would, and I got fuck all done of what I wanted to get done. So EMPs, electromagnetic pulse. If you check out the YouTube channel, I have a video where I build one and demo it. So you can check that out. But basically, what it is, it's a really high powered pulse of energy, and it's not necessarily like a jamming device that's sending out a specific frequency. It's just blasting out power, and usually do it by having a small coil of wire. So and in fact, in the video that I done, the EMP that I made was quite weak. And it was quite weak because I'd actually coiled a hell of a lot of wire around a tube, which was wrong, which I later found out because that just creates an inductor and a lot of the energy was lost there. So what I should have done was just create a small coil of wire like that, just single coil, and use a very high voltage capacitor, and then you discharge it very quickly into that circuit, and it has to go somewhere. Okay, it can't just disappear. Energy can't be destroyed. It just changes states. So you had this coil of wire and it has to go somewhere, and it just goes out. And if there's electronic devices nearby that are sensitive, it can damage them or fry them. In the YouTube video, I showed I had put a calculator in with it, and it wasn't powerful enough to damage the calculator, but it caused it to turn on and off and distort letters a bit. So that was quite cool. But yeah, if you want to check out the EMP stuff, it's on the YouTube channel. It's linked on the group, and that's where I built that. Others I tell more information for IMO groups. I really what's an IMO group? Is that something I should know? Maker vlog, yes, that's the YouTube channel. What are the possibilities of or what are the future implications of RF? Yeah, I don't know. We will find it. Sorry, do you mean future implications? I'm so used to people saying health implications of RF, or do you mean just like as in uses for it? Um, what the heck is IMO groups? Yeah, I'm not sure what he means. Just subbed. What a guy. IMO app. Oh, okay. I don't know it. And I wouldn't have permission to hack it, so no, sorry. Um, oh, uses. I mean, tons. With 5G coming out, fucking everything is going to be connected. And do you know what? I'm going to stop it there. And I tell you what, I will do another live stream soon. I don't know when. I'll try and do it soon, around the same time. And I'll talk about that. Sure, I'll talk about the future, at least as far as I can see, the future implications of RF and stuff like that. Finally found myself onto TikTok. Hello. Just checked IMO is a video chat app. Yeah, I can't. Can't hack that. I do not have permission. Told you I'm legal. Can phone replicate RFID signals? It can replicate some of them. Right. Okay. I'm definitely going to stop there because I'll be answering questions all day. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for the 10,000 subs. Follow. I'll do more about this, and yeah, I'll maybe not have a plan of something to build because obviously that didn't happen. I just got stuck answering questions. So yeah, I'll do another one soon talking about future of RF and what people are doing with 5G, because some of the stuff that people are doing is really cool with it. There's also some security vulnerabilities in 5G, which are very interesting. So I'll talk about them in another one, and I'm definitely stopping now. So stay safe. I will see you all later. I have no idea how to stop this. Where's the button? I told you I'm shit at TikTok. Oh, there it is. Bye.